Now, I do have one trade idea plan, and it is on Apple here for a potential bounce. You guys can see it's very simple, a very simple trade. So we're gonna enter some Apple calls here. We literally just entered right now. So guys, we're seeing our nice 1-to-1 here. Again, do not buy the tops of the candles. This is how you take the entry. This candle here is the hammer telling you that buyers are stepping in. If you miss this push, why are you entering here or up here? Market pullback. This is the entry. Worst case scenario, it breaks below the EMAs and I cut it for a very small loss. Good morning, my fellow traders, and welcome back to another live trading session where we're going to trade the stock market and show you guys how it's done. Now, of course, if we catch any trades, we're going to live record it and show you guys as well. Now, guys, I hope you guys had an awesome weekend, and honestly, let's get right into today's video. Let's show you guys what we're looking at for today. This is what we're looking at on SPY, and SPY is a little bit in an interesting area, but first, let's go on a 4-hour time frame. So you guys can see I do have this little bit of a small uptrend, higher lows, higher highs setting in for SPY, which is just showing that they're trying to slowly creep to the upside. Now, on the daily and weekly time frame, there is a lot more to notice. I actually did write it down as well, and the weekly time frame has a massive support bouncing off this 50 EMA, but we're not going to go too deep into that and dive into a whole video of how I dissect from each time frame. So we're going to just start on the 4-hour time frame and show you guys that the fact that SPY overnight pumped over $8 from 563. So guys, mind you, on Friday, the market closed at 563. What does that mean? That means SPY had pumped all the way from 563.98 all the way to 571.60, guys. That's almost a $10 move, almost. So logically speaking, is it reasonable to enter calls for more upside right at open and expect SPY to pump another $3-4 when it already pumped $8-9? Unrealistic. Now, it can happen, and we had seen some unpredictable movements in the market, but guys, realistically speaking, that is not a favorable trade setup to trade right at open just because SPY looks very bullish, don't get me wrong, but doesn't mean I'm going to enter calls right at open, because guys, don't get me wrong, look at this. I'm very certain a lot of people are going to slap calls right at open. Reason being is because I don't blame them. We're above all of these most recent highs, and now we're breaking out. So it could easily do a little bit of retest and break above, which is something that I'm looking for. We're going to see. But I'm definitely not going to chase, guys, because I understand how my brain works. We already pumped over $8-9 on the move overnight in the pre-market. I'm not going to chase calls and expect SPY to really move another $4 or $5 above. What I'm expecting is some decent pullback. So I am expecting some type of pullback to this general area before I actually take calls again. So we're going to see what we do right at open, 15 minutes till the market opens, and let's see what we can catch, guys. And of course, we're going to break down the whole market like we did in the last video, and we're going to show you guys exactly how, why, and what we're looking at, and what's the reasoning behind it. So let's get into it. Currently live in the Discord with the members. We had more people here as well earlier, but so far we're listening to music and watching the market as a whole, guys. Now, SPY is bouncing here pretty strong. Now, I do have one trade idea plan, and it is on Apple here for a potential bounce. You guys can see it's very simple, a very simple trade. Look at how the EMAs are curling back to the upside, which is just one tool to understand that we are a little bit in that bullish momentum. Market is gaining some buyers here as well. You guys can see across the board, and here all Apple did was reject here on Fridays after hours, break above and after hours, and then post-market or pre-market, sorry. Here we are just retesting this general area plus support plus EMA. So potential could be a nice bounce here. We just got to make sure the market actually wants it, and we also got to make sure the buyer volume kicks in on Apple before we do. So we're going to enter some Apple calls here. We literally just entered right now, right motherfucking now. Now the volume's kicking in here just a little bit. Market's getting very bullish here, so we're going to take the risk on this bounce here. Volume's kicking in just a little bit, you guys can see here. And the reason why we're doing this is because it's just a retest of this general area. Of course, very first price target is around this general area. Stop loss, 10% probably. But yeah, we're going to try to shoot for this general area first. So that is our plan today, guys, and we'll let you guys know how it goes. The trust, the plan, the hold, the does it. All we got to do, guys, is trust the trade plan, see how it does, and yeah, that's it. Worst case scenario, we do fall back and we take the loss, guys. I don't mind. I'm willing to take it. So I'm currently at my stop loss, literally following this model, guys. Here, $300 entry, 10% stop loss is a $30 loss, and I'm shooting for a $93 gain or $90 gain. Now you guys can see literally at that 10% $30 stop loss I'm talking about. Now I do plan to actually cut if we break below for a new lower low. So it might be a little bit more than 10%. It might be like 12, 13 to 14% on this trade, which I'm willing to lose. Because understand, the reason why I'm not exiting now is because not only is the market kind of holding itself a little bit here, but also on the 15-minute time frame, you guys can see it's still kind of in these EMAs. Now, don't get me wrong, it looks very bearish and it looks easily reversible here on the market, of course. But that's why we try our absolute best to trust the trade plan. Now, it could easily just hold, and so far, it's even holding out. You know, big sell-off, buyer try to take in, big sell-off again, buyer try to hold it, and then again, another big sell-off. So theoretically, not that it should be pumping, but it's still holding, and we just need to be able to trust this trade plan, guys. So we're gonna do our absolute best. Let's go. Apple's pushing green for us, guys. Literally what we expected as far as this 15-minute hold and bounce, guys. We need a nice push to the upside, please. Yo, I'm sorry, Clark, but I'm gonna have to turn you into a lesson, brother. But somebody... So unfortunately, Clark took calls on SPY. Now, it is going in his favor, guys, but this is what I'm talking about, where entries are very, very important, guys. Understand, do not buy the tops of the candles. When you already missed the bottom entry, this candle here is the hammer telling you that buyers are stepping in. If you miss this push, why are you entering here or up here? You need to wait for a strong push, market pullback. This is the entry. You do not need to take calls when market gets to push here and you decide to take calls. That's horrible, guys. You do not want to do that. This is how you take the entry. If you miss calls here right at open because you're somebody like me who doesn't trade the open and wait for the market to actually pick a direction, and you see the market's pulling back to your EMA, this is where you take the risk to reward and you assess your risk and you say, you know what? This is a very nice dip entry. Worst case scenario, it breaks below the EMAs and I cut it for a very small loss. Way better than entering up way up here, waiting for a pullback way down here and you're down 20-15%, and then you decide to cut it when it drops way down here and you're now down 40%. If you enter on the pullback retest dip entry, guys, you get the best freaking entry you can grab. Worst case scenario, your stop loss will be very tight, and best case scenario, it goes right away in your favor. Again, pull back to your next general area of EMA or resist or support. Again, that's the entry, guys. You do not want to enter way up here. What's the point of that? I don't get it. So just because I see the market pushing doesn't mean I enter in right away. So lesson learned, guys. See, this is why patience pays, guys. All you gotta do is wait and buy the bottom entry. So guys, we're seeing our nice 1-to-1 here. Again, let's break it down, guys. Risk to reward. I'm in for $300. I could take a 1-to-1, which just means I gain $30, be willing to lose $30. But this is not profitable setup strategy, because if I lose 10% on my next trade, then I just lost what I gained. Now let's talk about the 1-to-2 model, which is what I can shoot for, which is 20% gains, which will be a $60 gain on a $300 entry. Willing to lose $30 to try to gain 60, guys. Now I can lose twice and win once and be break even. Now, if I try to shoot for a 30% gain, this is what it looks like, guys. A $90 gain to lose 30. Earlier I was down 10%, now we're up 10%, which currently right now on this model right here. We need to try to, we're gonna try to hold for this model and in this model right here, guys. So again, here we are. So let's go. Nah, that's crazy. That thing just pulled all the way back to retest this 50 and VWAP level, guys. We're still in, of course, but goddamn, that thing just pulled back majorly hard. But anyways, 15-minute counter closes in about 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and we're gonna see what it does here anyway. So we're not too worried, but guys, goddamn, come on, Apple. Guys, so we're gonna do our absolute best. I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna do our absolute best to try to hold, even though we saw a nice 11% gain and pulled all the way back to negative 2% gains. We're gonna show you guys how we hold and not have emotions, because although market does look pretty scary here, there are some stocks very bullish like SPY, Qs, AMD, Nvidia. So all we need to do is trust that this trade plan is still gonna hold. Now, the reason why I'm still in it, most people probably end up exiting, is because, guys, look at the way these candles are still holding. Now, don't get me wrong, this indicates that sellers took control. You can even see in the buyer volume, or there's really not that much buyer volume, sellers took control. So my stop loss or my plan or my idea is I won't cut unless we break back below the EMAs or this 50 EMA area and get a candle closer below. So that's what I'm gonna watch for, guys. I'm gonna do my absolute best to try to hold and show you guys what that looks like. And of course, if we take a loss, then we take a loss. It is what it is. So we're down 3% and we're trying our best to hold at that area. So guys, here's our orders and here's how much we lost today. So we just lost $30 on this first trade, which is normal and what I actually expect and this is how my system works. So unfortunately, we did take that 15-minute bounce here and we did see a nice 10% push. Then ultimately came back down, reversed on us, and we had to sell for a small loss here of 10% cut, guys. So you guys can see here's my orders. We was in it for over an hour. You guys can see I got in at 7:26, sold at 8:21, so almost an hour, basically an hour. But you guys can see this is when I entered on this candle here at 7:26. So this is a 7:25 candle. 1 minute after this candle opened and closed, whatever, I ended up entering in. Saw the push here, 10%, ended up rejecting, and that's where we're at now. So it is what it is, guys. It's only 8:40 a.m., 2 hours into the market being open, and so far I don't see much else. Now I can take another trade, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to take puts here just for a small pullback because it can easily just bounce again like this. So again, guys, what I like to do is, I'm not a scalp trader. I like to try to catch trades like this where if had this one bounce all the way back up to where it needed to go all the way back into the previous highs or pre-market highs, then I try to shoot for 20-30%. But in this case, guys, I ended up pushing only to 10% gains, pulled back, and we just cut for a small loss. Now, again, all I'm doing is just following this risk to reward model setup entry. So we entered in for almost $300. It was about like $289 or $290-ish or whatever. You guys saw, I entered in, took a small cut, and again, $30 loss to try to gain $90, guys. I can lose 5 times, win twice, and still be profitable with this model entry here. So all that happened was I entered in on a pullback or at the support, theoretically, ended up pushing, but this pullback here ended up going all the way back, theoretically, basically. It's basically what just happened. So again, small loss, but I don't mind, because I'm always willing to lose $30. Lose $30 here, lose $30 here, but it just depends on how much I'm willing to try to gain. So easily earlier, I was up 10%, but I don't like this model, because if I lose 10% on my next trade, then I just lose what I just gained. So anyways, guys, that's the 1-to-1 risk reward model. At the very least, I try to shoot for 1 to 2 and set my stop loss at 1 to 2 and try to shoot for 1 to 3. But anyways, let's see what else we can catch if we catch anything, and let's just watch the market as a whole. But so far, you can see $30 there lines up with my Charles Schwab. I'm going to throw it into my TradeZella, and yes, you can see Charles Schwab, $30 loss here. And again, it all lines up. I just want to be very transparent and show you guys. So market's not really doing anything, and this was a stock that we traded earlier. We took Apple call, saw 10%, got wrecked here, and currently it's just falling down slowly. Now, there's no setups at all in the market whatsoever. Now, I can potentially slap some puts, potentially if ES loses this EMA short term, and I slap some puts on SPY below this 572 area. Now, that could be a quick trade idea, but I actually don't plan on trading it. That's more of a scalper's mindset, and I'm not a scalper trader no more. I used to be. Those were my old days. But anyways, guys, the market's not really doing too much now. What I will watch and expect for is to see how market reacts at this support level here. So what I will do is just set a level if SPY ever hits that area, see what it does if it bounces at this EMA, because the EMAs will pull up to this general area before, while SPY gets to this area as well. Then I'll watch for a potential call bounce there. But until then, guys, I'm not going to trade anything else. Here's my P&L for TradeZella. And unfortunately, guys, this month has just not been really that great for me as far as when it comes to having such great big wins, because most of my trades this week have been 1-to-1s or 1-to-2s. So you guys can see, 1-to-2 here, 20% trade on a $300 entry, $60 gain, one trade. And then this day here, I took 2 10 or 20% trades, very small entries. I remember I traded some shares, PSTV, traded some SPY here as well, same day contract, made a quick little $66 gain. Again, basically a 1-to-2 here, same days, and then on average, practically $60 gains. And then again, another $60 gain here with a $50 loss. So I remember this loss was pretty big, about 20%. But again, guys, very small week last week, only a $53 gain. And then here we are with a $30 loss. So what I'm expecting is every single time we take a loss, it'll be a small $30 loss. Now, theoretically, if I take a trade today and I lose and it's a $30 loss too, then it'll basically be $60. That's what I shoot for, guys. I want to know exactly how much I'm willing to lose compared to how much I'm willing to gain. So I'm going to end it here since I don't plan on trading anything else. And I will just watch the market as a whole. And if we do get that bounce, like I mentioned, that's the only trade idea that I plan on taking. Until then, guys, we're just going to sit on cash and be smart with our trades. We don't want to lose much. Are also editing up the vlog, and it's currently 10:07 a.m. So, and guys, do not forget free Discord and the website. Just join the Discord, and it's literally free. We do trade recaps every single day. We go live in the Discord as well for free, and we show you guys how we trade the market. So understand, guys, all of this stuff is for free. Now, the only thing that is paid for is, of course, the education, because that is vital to trading. And I did not just waste a whole year of creating PDFs, recording it, and posting it all for free. Of course, there's going to be a premium for it, but the Discord is free, and joining it is free to join the community. It's very important to be a part of like-minded traders, always talking about trading, always trying to improve, and every single day, guys, we try to improve. So best believe, join the Discord if you guys want to. It's free, link in the bio. No charge whatsoever. There's no catch. Literally every single day we go live, and if people want to do a recap, or people have questions, or people want to see anything on the market, we literally just go live and we show you guys what's going on for free. So best believe that's available to anybody in the market. And again, guys, it's free to join. I'm not over here trying to make money off of you guys. And if you guys do want to pay me for the education of what I have, then of course there is a premium for that. But I hope you guys had an awesome Monday, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. Let's go.